Hey guys, Troy Casey, certified health nut here in Sedona, Arizona. And as an effort to bring you guys the most healing information and a broader perspective than just myself, I brought on Rob Carney. He's one of my colleagues and business partners. I wanted him to explain his journey into manhood, ultimately, his education, and what he's doing in the world today. So, Rob, thanks for coming on the show again. I appreciate you, and I always love hearing the good news of what you're doing in the world. You're out on the East Coast, so please share with people where you're at and what you do and what you're up to now.
Absolutely, Troy. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure chatting with you as well. And for anyone that doesn't know, Troy's been a great mentor to me. He's taught me a lot about not only just my own personal development, but about, health and business in general. So let me backtrack to my story here. So for me, it started when I was 17. I had a pretty bad concussion at that time. I was a state swimmer, lacrosse player, three-sport athlete. And so I was kind of hit with I couldn't do any physical activity for about 5 months as my brain was healing without getting dizzy, without being sensitive to lights. And so somewhere along the line, someone was like, "Oh, have you ever done yoga?" And at that point, that was 10 years ago. I'm 27 now.
So
So
you had
that
a
was kind of,
you had a concussion.
yeah, I've had two concussions. First one, I was 15 playing football. And then after that, I decided football is not worth it. And then second one was actually kind of a freak accident water skiing. I flipped over the wave. My skis actually hit me right underneath my eye. So that one knocked me out in the water. And that was kind of the start, that trauma that led to the unraveling of my own discovery. So got into yoga, meditation, psychology, started working with holistic practitioners, nutritionists, acupuncture, massage, Reiki, basically anyone that would let me work for them, either as an employee, as an intern, or, just as them being my practitioner. So basically just kind of pick the minds of everyone in the Boston area, which is where I grew up, which eventually led me to, college, where I started learning about nutrition psychology, but felt like it was a little incomplete. So I dove into sustainable food and farming, recognizing that we're only as healthy as our soil. So I started studying soil sciences, plant sciences, and recognizing, wow, we can be, eating the best food, but if our soil isn't healthy, we're not really getting much nutrition out of that. So really recognize the importance of organics, the importance of, avoiding chemical exposures in food that's all too common. And so after I graduated, I worked on a few farms, actually out in Sacramento, my senior year of college. And then I went out to Western Mass. And then in 2017, I went to Asia for about 4 months, lived in Sri Lanka for 2 months. I was the only American there. No one else spoke English. My best friend from college was Sri Lankan. So, I was in the middle of the jungle of Sri Lanka for 2 months, not really speaking English to anyone but him, and learning to communicate with people on a level that was with body language and with energy. It wasn't verbal. So I really learned a lot about myself and the world around me. And it taught me a lot of gratitude for my own life, recognizing these people don't have shoes. Most of them had never seen an iPhone before. Most of them, didn't have access to internet or outside world. So that was a big eye-opening experience for me. That I moved on to Thailand, did a silent meditation retreat while I was there, which was transformative to say the least. So it's 4 months in Asia, came back here and just kind of recognized like, wow, I don't want to get a job. Don't want to get a job. Knew
What,
that pretty quickly.
Rob, what meditation course did you sit out in Sri Lanka?
So the meditation I did was in Thailand. It was with just a monk, and it was just a silent retreat. So I don't really know what specialization it was per se, but it was in my area, and it was like, we're starting this tomorrow. So I just hopped on it, just kind of right place at the right time.
Tell us a little bit about your experience with that. I've sat many meditation courses in silence, and please explain a little bit of that and how that helped you.
Yeah, so I'd say there was a lot of resistance at first. The first 12 to 16 hours, there's a lot of resistance, and a lot of me, being like, oh, why did I do this? Oh, this kind of sucks. I can't talk to anyone. But then after, about hour 16 or so, I kind of fell into, wow, we need more of this. Started off as like, I don't want to do this, turned it into, we need more of this in our everyday lifestyle, more silence, more stillness. And again, kind of like Sri Lanka, where it was communicating people without words, kind of picking on people's energies and such. And so a big thing for me was recognizing I need to slow down. And time is kind of an interesting concept that we make out as humans. But it really showed me the value of being still and silent, and how sometimes we need to push through that uncomfortable period to really get to the gold, which I think can be applied to just about any aspect of life.
So great. And how did that shift your consciousness or open it up?
Yeah, I think again, it just showed me the power of stillness and the power of silence, and that I need to really think about things in a different way. Like I said, when I was moving back, I knew I didn't want to get a job. I just didn't like the idea of, working 9 to 5, being behind a desk all day. And so when I came back pretty soon after, I joined a small startup company in Los Angeles in the medical device industry, where we were traveling all the time. It was kind of, the ego was happy. You wear a suit, you got all these conventions, talk to the top quality doctors in functional medicine and preventative care, which was cool. But, the company didn't quite start up. So then I returned back to Boston, fall 2018, with about $10,000 in credit card debt, and recognized, this whole relying on other people to pay my bills is not the direction I want to go. So I started my business September of 2018, because just like any financial advisor would say, when you're $10,000 in debt, invest in making a business. So there I was, put more money on the table, investing in myself and my business, and basically eventually came across the superfoods that we work with. And I was introduced to them by you. I was skeptical, which I think a lot of people are, seeing them at first, like, oh, it's too good to be true. There's no way these products do what they say. There's no way the business is that good. And then one day I went out to the Czech Institute. I'd done my HLC1, Holistic Lifestyle Coaching Level 1 online that past fall. Then April 2019, I went out to the Institute for Level 2. And people were talking about Purium left and right. And so eventually I was like, all right, these are my people. Troy's been talking about it. They're talking about it. I'm going to just give it a go. And so I dove in, and immediately, I'd say within about 6 days, and I'm pretty healthy. I eat all organic food, but, drinking the liquid sunshine, getting the aminos, my mental clarity, my energy went up. And, again, thinking I'm doing everything right, I was like, it can't get much better. And it did. And then, being able to connect with you on a more regular basis, meeting with lots of other mentors. And like you always say, it's a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it. And that's what I've really learned from this business, is that the more I grow, the more I'm able to help more people, and make more money doing it. And as I said, I can't work a desk job. It's not how my body works, how my brain works. So this has really been the vehicle that's driven my business. And I do some other things on the side, coaching, writing, but this is really the main vehicle that drives my business and allows me to have the freedom.
So in a year or so, you've been able to build a business, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing online, as well as what you're doing there in the Boston area with men.
Yeah, so definitely obviously when this whole situation, we'll call it, happened in March, I was still leading an after school program part-time, about 30 hours a week, working with kids, actually teaching them meditation and gardening and yoga and a lot of things that I loved. But, again, it wasn't paying very well. And I was doing the side as kind of like that transition to my own business while still staying in line with my own values. And then when this happened in March, I actually moved back with my parents, and, kind of was like, all right, I got a clean slate right now, and I'm going all into my business. So all my work went online, and that's where Purium, our superfoods company, was the perfect option. And as soon as I made the commitment to doing it, that's when things started taking off. It wasn't like, oh, I'm kind of here, I'm kind of there. I decided to go all in, and I dove into the water, and that's where really things took off. And then in person, I do monthly meetup groups. It started off as all men, and then we recognize there's a value to having feminine energy there as well. So now we've been doing a co-ed meetup once a month, and now we're going to, in 2021, implement once a month co-ed, and also keeping one that's just for men. So now we're going to be doing 2 events per month, having one co-ed, one just for men, because there's value to both, and we want to kind of keep that integrity of both. And, Purium has been a great part of that as well. I serve liquid sunshine there all day. It's great fuel while we're working out, doing breath work, doing Tai Chi, doing ice baths.
Mm.
So, it's, as I said, it really layers out to every aspect of what I'm doing with coaching. Clients get great results from the products too. So it makes my job a lot easier when someone says, oh, I can't eat organic foods. Like, here's some green juice. You don't have to juice yourself. You don't have to pay $15 at a juice bar to get it. This is easy. It's convenient. It gets delivered to your doorstep, and it's going plastic free. If you don't care about anything else, you just care about the environment, this company's going plastic free. They're in my compost bin right now, and I just stirred it up, and the last one from a month ago is now disintegrated. That's pretty darn cool.
That is way cool. I'm very excited about going plastic free, and you'd be very hard pressed out there in the internet to find another company that's doing that. We are the leaders environmentally in that realm, and we've been that way for a while. We got rid of the plastic scoops a couple of years ago, and we've been moving towards sustainable packaging. And we invented the first food grade package for the superfoods. So good stuff. And what are people's experiences getting all jacked up on liquid sunshine, vitamins and minerals, and jumping in ice baths?
Well, I tell you, the first instinct that people say is, I can't do the ice bath. I can't do it. I can't do it. And it's like, you can. And I actually did my first ice bath was with you, summer 2019. It must have been in Burbank, California. I think it was a lunch break at our convention we were at together, and we hopped over to our team members' ice bath. And I remember getting in there, and I've done cold showers and stuff, but I remember you told me, drop in, be very present. And as soon as you get present at the moment, it gets a lot easier. And that's kind of what I tell people is, like, focus on breathing and be present. Don't worry about how cold it is. Just focus on your breath and be present. And, a lot of people will get in, jump out, and be like, holy shit, I can't do that. And then, oh, let's try again. Let's try again. And a lot of that is just that mental fortitude. And it's honestly, one of the most rewarding things, having someone say, I can't do it, and then doing it and being like, wow, you just showed me that I can do something that I didn't think I could do. And then they come out, they dry off, then they get a little liquid sunshine. We have some other organic snacks from some local markets. People fuel up, and it's just a cool environment that's, especially with the lockdown that's going on right now. It's like people can't see each other. Like, how valuable is it that we hold space while everyone else is staying at home, that people can come together like human beings do and work together on improving themselves? And, we say, it's like, look, if you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. You don't have to come. But if you do feel comfortable, we're going to be here, and we're going to keep doing this because we think this is important and valuable for the betterment of ourselves and the betterment of society. And we need community.
Well, that's great. And as a leader, Rob, I'd like to hear your breakdown of moving forward through this quote unquote lockdown coronavirus scenario. We got the election coming up very soon. What do you see for the future of humanity, your other brothers and sisters that are out there in the world?
Well, I think that's a $1 million question. It's a tough, I don't think there's any easy answer, but I think as a whole, there's a great awakening going on right now that people are recognizing, hey, I need to, change my situation by changing myself first. Because when people are kind of like the meditation tree, when people are forced to stay by themselves, all those limiting beliefs come up, all those deep, dark shadows start to arise. And if we can be very conscious of that and conscious of the fact that, look, we need to work through that, that's how we're going to move forward. And recognizing that it's all on us. We're the responsibility. We need to take responsibility for ourselves, change ourselves to be the change we want to see in the world. Because if we're so focused on, changing other people or hoping that a politician is going to make the change for us, we're shit out of luck. Because, that's not their first intention. They're running a business. The government's a business, or the vaccine companies are a business, or whatever we're looking for a solution. They're a business. At the end of the day, they need to turn a profit. So we need to look to ourselves. And I think as a whole, we're moving in the right direction. I think that people like you are, moving things 1%. That's all we need to do. Move things 1%. If every person moves things 1%, we're going to make a big difference. And I do have faith that the human spirit will rise up and we will, break through the boundaries of bullshit that have been laid upon us. And at the end of the day, that starts with being healthy, because if we're not healthy and our planet isn't healthy, there's not much that we're going to do moving forward. And I think that is one good thing that this situation has shown. When people stopped emitting greenhouse gases, all of a sudden animals started returning that hadn't been there in 30, 40 years. So the fact that this idea that we can't turn around the planet health in any amount of time is, look, we just show that we can. So I think in some messed up way, it's actually shown hope for the fact that we have the ability to change much quicker than we thought we could.
I agree wholeheartedly. And actually, all my esoteric studies point to this time and the huge transformation and the quantum leap in human consciousness. Well, I really applaud you for being out there and being on the front lines. And I know that you do group cleanse challenges as well. And so what's the best place for people to get a hold of you, Rob?
Yeah, the best place is definitely on Instagram. So my Instagram is Whole Health Connections, all one word, WHOLE Health Connections with an S. Or you can go to my website, wholehealthconnects.com. So, just like Troy said, is we're constantly improving our team and we're constantly sharing on the superfoods. So if that's something that feels remotely intriguing to you, or if you're just curious to learn more about it, shoot me a message. And I'm more than happy to chat about the products, the business, and just all things health and wellness in general. Because I think it's really a collaborative effort. There's no competition out there in terms of moving the planet forward, as we need to collaborate. So I'm a collaborator. I love to work with other people. And that's why I love working with you, Troy, is that you're always looking to collaborate and you've always been there to help lift me up when I've been down. So, if there's anyone out there that's looking for a change, this is what I love to do. So I'd love to support each and every one who's listening.
Awesome, guys. Yes, we are creating an army of wellness warriors, an army of people helping others get healthy by eating cleaner and greener, fasting, cleaning up their gut microbiome. And we're doing great in business. If you're at home, I don't know what I want to do with my life. You want to build a career online. You want to build a career with a bunch of people that care about the well-being of each other and the earth, that are down for collaboration, cooperation, all the good things that we want to see on the world. We need to create it. If we want to see it, we've got to create it. So thanks for coming on, Rob. I appreciate you. I appreciate the updates. I love being in business with you. And I look forward to collaborating for one of our men's groups together. And of course, always come to Sedona. You're invited every time.
Absolutely, brother. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for listening. Just final message I'd like to leave that I tell people is, no matter what you're working towards, if you're patient, persistent, and consistent, you're going to get there. And that's what I tell my team members all the time. If someone's feeling discouraged, just keep moving forward. At the end of the day, work on yourself, get 1% better every day. That's really all it takes, just being patient, persistent, consistent. So let's keep getting better, Troy. Appreciate you. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah, and on that note, I just want to say that my persistence has paid off, and God or the Holy Ghost has blessed me with this beautiful scenery that I get to look at every day. And so here in Sedona, Arizona. And so I appreciate all you guys. See if we can get the backdrop here. Look at those mountains.
Wow.
All day, every day. So come to Sedona for some healing. Get with Rob if you're on the East Coast, or if you need some coaching, or if you just want to connect to a community that's doing amazing things in this world. Get with Rob, and we'll see all you psycho chickens soon. Thanks so much, Rob.
Sounds good, Troy. Thank you.
Okay. God bless. God bless.